Welcome back, viewers. You're back here with us on Brunch today, and I am stepping in for J Soul. She'll be back with us tomorrow. I know y'all can't wait to see her. She can't wait to be here with you all, right? So hopefully, y'all will stick with me, support, and just watch, because this is just my second. I'm just here for the second day helping out. So we're here right now to speak with a young man called Vennorick Cupid.
Yes.
And I hope I said it correct
You
again.
said it perfectly.
I love it. It's a beautiful name, very unique. And he is here. He's the founder of the Dance Professional Movement Company.
The Movement Professional Dance.
Movement Professional.
Yes, a little tongue twister. No, that's Emperors.
And he's here to talk to us about that, right? This is a group that's right here in Tobago. And Vennorick, tell us what this group is about, what it does.
So Emperors, well, Movement Professional, also known as Emperors, we are a brotherhood, and that is one of the best ways I could describe it. But in school, all of us gravitate to dancing. Well, back in my day, we call it scanting, right? I don't know if anybody...
Yeah, we know it. We know it. Go ahead.
know that terminology. But it really had a hold on me in school, and I think as a young man, and most young people, we love to dance. So myself and my other crew members, we decided to form a group, and by forming a group, we formed a family.
Right.
So that's the best way that we could put it. We've been performing all over Trinidad and Tobago. We went to Phoenix, Arizona to represent Trinidad and Tobago in the World Hip Hop Dance Championships.
Okay.
Yeah, making history as the only TNT group to actually do that in the mini crew category, and the only Tobago group to ever make it that far. So
tell me, how long have you all been doing this?
We have been doing this since, well, I have been doing this, well, I started first. I started in 2007. I would have met the guys in 2009, because they are a bit younger than I am, when I was a part of the Bimbal Dance Off competition at that point in time.
Okay.
And then we would have joined in 2011 officially, and that is when the brotherhood started. But since then, we'll be doing little sideline projects like flash mobs and stuff. Everything is on YouTube when it comes to what we do.
I really love this. So you all are brotherhood, and the 19th of November is Men's International Day.
Yes.
Right? So guys, listen, if you all feel like you all, you have fancy feet, right? You got some fancy moves, you got, as Chronic said, your scanting suite, right? Come call Vennorick and see if you could qualify to join this group of men. It's a brotherhood of movement.
Correct.
Right? And you all have been doing this since you started in 2009. Excellent. Tell us, for those who are viewing, why you felt that this was an important thing for you to do, for you to start a group with men moving.
So, and the good thing about this whole thing, I believe this month is Men's Mental Health Month. I believe so, right? When it comes to dancing, and I remember me being in my teens, as a teenager, you are faced with so many obstacles, whether it's peer pressure, whether it's grades, whether it's problems at home. And being a young man, it was kind of difficult to express yourself properly without being looked at funny, or even, you're frustrated. And sometimes this frustration manifests in anger. And dance solved that for me. Dance mitigated that for me and everybody else in my group. So when I started dancing, I started to express myself. So the problems of my day would have left because I started dancing. And through dance, I was able to connect with a lot of people, and I was able to connect with other young men, which is my brothers, Chappie, Destin, Nick, Orel. Everybody knows, well, for the time I'm from Tobago, you will actually know who we are or seen us at least once or twice around. Okay. And I believe that is why dance is so important, and that is why I do what I do, or we do what we do, because it gives us a very non-verbal way to communicate and express ourselves.
Listen, I can't tell you how much I admire what you're saying about, that, because what you're talking about is some of those toxic masculinity traits, right? Some of those things that are cultured into men that aren't working, right? Men don't cry, men don't talk, men don't express their feelings, right? And we don't want that. We want men who can express themselves, and not just express themselves. That society is not going to make you feel bad for doing it, right? So you have turned that, that ability, or I should say, perhaps the lack of that ability to express yourself verbally into movement.
Into movement,
right?
Yes.
So if you don't like to talk a lot, put it into your dance. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Speak with your body.
Speak with your body.
I love that.
And that's one of the best things about it, because in my group, right, we have one of my members' name is Vennorick Cupid. We call him Kwang. If you know him personally, he's not really a talker.
Yes.
But when he dances, that is when he speaks.
Yes.
And that is one of the best and healthiest way he found to express himself. And that is also why we at this stage are currently trying to connect with the younger generation, because we know that we see violence in schools. We've seen a lot of stuff that we know that if a teacher or somebody could have at least offered this sort of solution, maybe it might be able to help. It may not be able to help everybody, but it may help the next me. It may help the next them.
Yes.
Because dancing, especially with TikTok and everything right now, dancing is very big. Everybody's TikTok savvy right now. And to see that we could offer that service to the next generation, because we didn't have it those days. I had to learn myself. And we could actually offer that service to the next generation. We could definitely help put somebody, some young man, some young female, anybody on the right track.
Yes.
Because one thing about emperors, right? We keep each other in check.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is what brotherhood does. That is what good brotherhood does. So when young men talking about having friends do not allow each other to entertain negative vices. And my group, Emperors, we keep everybody on their toes. We know, hey, we're trying to be positive. We're trying to do better, trying to give back.
Yes.
And young men need that these days. We need somebody to hold each other accountable, to let all know, hey, you've been wrong.
Yes.
Hey, don't follow the crowd. Be your own man. Stand up for what is right.
Y'all, check Vennorick out. He's on a positive track. Support and check him out. What you're talking about, and I heard they say everybody TikTok savvy. I say, Lord, I ain't that everybody. I'm not TikTok savvy. I'm running from TikTok so long. Let me tell you, this movement that you're doing, this way that you all are being, using the arts, using creativity, using movement to make sure that the men of this generation, your generation, are on a positive track and stay there, right? And I always tell people, it's not enough to just say they should do better. Men need to keep each other in check, right?
Correct.
Society just can't keep telling, don't do that, don't do that. Y'all need to be able to say that to your other brothers.
100%
right?
agree.
Because it's so much easier when you talk to a brother. You understand where they're coming from.
Exactly.
You understand what's happening with them.
We understand male ego. We understand male ego 100%.
Yes.
And we could actually say, yo, brother, I understand what you're trying for, but that ain't the right way. You need to cut that out. You need to stop that. We could pull up each other. And that is what we do in our group, and that is what we believe in. Because if you're not in check, your ego could run a while and cause you to do some crazy things.
I'm telling you. Well,
Right?
there's female ego too, so we get it. But I understand, there are so many little nuances and differences between men and women. And sometimes we, as women, may not even understand it. And sometimes the younger men don't understand themselves. You need sometimes somebody in your own gender to be able to say, girlfriend, boyfriend, I don't think you're going down the right road with that. I've been there, done that. Don't go down there.
Exactly.
It's not going to profit you, and I love that you all are doing that. Tell us about this education program.
Okay.
Why you started that, what it is, and why you decided this was necessary.
So I would have come on this program, and I come on the Tobago this program a few months ago, I think about 2 or 3 months ago, and I would have spoke about issues in the dance community in depth. And one of the questions that was brought to me is, how could I target it, or what could we do as Emperors, which is my group? And it had me thinking, I was like, you know what, anybody could talk the talk, but not everybody could walk the walk.
Yeah.
So I told my team about what the interview was about, and they saw the interview and they said, let's do something. So since then, we would have went up to Speyside High School, I believe in early October. We had a session, thanks to Miss Hercules, which is a performing art teacher up there. We had a bunch of the males in the session, and we had some females in the session. And during the session, we would have definitely give them a breakdown, a history on performing arts. We would have give them what the true essence of performing is. We would have told each gender how to properly express themselves and not to be confined by what society really pushing on them. So we allow the young men to be that young men. We allow them to be young men. We allow the young women to be young women. And we use tools such as Drift. Everybody who knows Drift, which is a popular trending song right
Yes.
now, knows that the young people and them love it. And we believe that by using this tool, we got their attention for the whole session. And the session wasn't
Yes.
just Drift. We taught them some hip hop, and we also taught them some folk, some African step, because that is our heritage, that is our culture.
Very much
And
so.
what was so brilliant about it, because you know, when they go to young people and say, hey, we're gonna teach you folk dances, they may shy away, hey, we don't want to learn that.
Yes.
But there's a way to do everything.
Yes.
We get them hooked first, and then we introduce the folk.
Yes.
So the kids and them was engaged throughout the whole entire session, which was an hour. And we compile it very nicely. Then we took the kids outside and do a little drift video with them on TikTok. And that video, I think when we uploaded it, it had like about 15,000 views within like 48 hours.
Right.
And right now, even if you go on TikTok and you type in Emperors, you will see the video with a couple of students. We were just having fun.
Yeah.
We were just having.
Look.
Yeah, you'll see it. All right. I'm actually the camera guy, by the way, in case if you don't see me in it, right?
Yes.
But we actually reduced the numbers of students in the drift because there were so many of them that wanted to fall in. So we said, you know what, we'll just take about 20 of you to actually fall in. But they are interested. I need to stress that. I've been hearing people on the island saying, you know what, this dancing is for girl or the young men not interested, or the young people not interested in learning their folk. I don't believe that. This is proof of that. The young people are interested. You whoever you are as a teacher, you need to find a way to communicate on a level that they understand.
Or a parent.
Correct.
You know, because we put a lot on these teachers, and they have a curriculum to deliver so that these kids could come out of school with their subjects and get, employment.
And get the passes.
But let me tell you, parents out there, don't let me give you the side eye. You have work to do as well. It's not all about the teachers. The teachers doing their job. You make sure you don't fall down by the wayside and say, when you go to school, you're going to learn that. Miss Work. No. Right? So it's for the parents
It's also for the parents.
Right?
And for any parent that is actually listening right now, if it is that you are contemplating like what is the importance of dance, I'm letting you know, dance teaches so many life principles, right, within its practice. For example, the ballroom.
Discipline.
Correct. Discipline in the ballroom. And I don't know who, like, if you're listening and you're accustomed to ballroom, when you go to ballroom, the young man has to approach the young lady with respect, with posture, extend his hand out. The lady then has to vet him and reply with. So it shows, so it teaches a young man respect. It teaches a young man how to dress properly, how to present himself properly. It teaches a female how to vet a young man. It teaches a female how to respond properly once done vetting the young man. It teaches a young lady how to allow a young man to lead. It teaches a young man how to lead. All of that just within ballroom. So ballroom isn't just dancing around the floor. It has so many lessons within ballroom. Mark, who's our next one? Yeah, so we have so many lessons.
Listen, I know he calling all kind of dance moves. I know the drifter. That's what I know. That's what I could do a drift. Can I join you?
If only we could get a little music to play.
You know?
Get a little.
Yeah. You gotta do the head. You gotta do the head. You gotta do the head. You gotta drift. But let me tell you, what you're saying is true. Dance, the arts, they teach discipline, just like sports, just like we're using sport to make sure that our young people stay where they need to be, that they focus on the right things and they stay positive. Dance and the arts does that as well. And I'm so glad to hear that you all are doing this, because it's really giving another option.
Yes.
Right? Because not everybody's into sports. I'm not a sports person.
You're so correct. Everybody's into sports.
I'm not into sports. I watch cricket because, right, it's on TV. I like to go to cricket because it's the lime, right? Drinks and eats. But I'm not into sports. I may prefer dance, right? And we have a lot of people out there. There's so many different things.
So many different things. And while I have this platform here, I want to also speak on what we're going to be doing as a part of the dance education initiative. We have two legs right now, which is one is called the male expression. With that, we're hoping to do it next semester, the January semester. We will want to go to about 6 secondary schools, teach them a dance, teach them a mix. We'll have what's trendy and what's cultural, right? So they will understand where they come from within the culture and have a product put together for World International Dance Day. That day, the video compilation will be aired so all the students could run and see themselves and see what they were a part of and feel proud that they were part of that. And on the other semester, we want to do an anti-violence tour teaching kids to express themselves and letting them know that they could use dance as a vehicle to express themselves in a healthy manner and in a proper manner. So we want to teach them a lot of different ways, not just dancing for dancing. We want to let them know what dancing could offer, right? And I also want to say that any practitioner on the island, I know that we have a lot of gems on the island. I believe Miss Cynthia Alfred, we have some of the older heads.
Yes.
I know all them might watching this and say, well, them young people had a young people thing, but we need your help also, because we have you all are a library of knowledge. And those principles and all those stuff that comes with the culture, that comes with the folk, we need to get that information to pass it on to the next generation. We are willing, but we need your help. We need the help of the secretaries on them, especially the ones on them that education, in tourism, because if we do not educate and enlighten this generation coming up, within 10 years, when we decide to stop dancing or who's currently dancing, you will have a void.
Listen, you said some important things there. Vennorick, before we go any further, I don't want to forget, tell the viewers how to find you on social media and give them a number to call, please.
Sure. Well, you could contact me directly on 391-2916. You could also hit up the group. The group is on every social media platform, which is Empros. You cannot miss Empros at all.
So that's just M-P-O-R-S.
Thank you. M-P-R-O-S. From the time you see it, you will see a picture.
Underscore.
Dash. Definitely a dash.
Very
you will
good.
see a picture of the whole group. Right? So we are very, very easy to find.
Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok.
And TikTok.
You know, from the time you send a message, we answer almost instantly. So if it is that you are a stakeholder or you was involved in Heritage back in the day or Best Village back in the day and you want to help us put this generation on the right path, right? We are more than willing, we are more than welcoming your knowledge, your experience, because we need to learn. And your input. Because we need to learn. We want to make sure that when we go to these kids and we start to explain cultural and folk moves, we have the right information that goes with it. You understand? Because it's important that they know why the Mariku is important, what the brushback is for, what the wheel and jig is. It's very important that they know where it came from. So we cannot do this alone. I know that we are looked as the flashy boys and them that we just go out and dance and do we thing, but we have so much respect for our cultural art form. We have so much respect for it. All we want is to make sure that it is displayed properly and it is brought across properly. So anybody, any older heads, anybody that has a wealth of knowledge that they wish to partner with us with this, right? Also, we will be trying to get funding because we want to make sure that we get a proper camera crew that will be recording and documenting this. Because when it goes up on social media, it must look hot. It must look fresh. It must
I like that.
You understand? It's young people.
So y'all are able to quote unquote compete in international spaces with the quality of video.
Correct.
I love that.
Correct. So the video, even though the video is Tobago, the video will not just be for Tobago. It'll be for the world.
People mustn't look at it and say, oh, there's where them is some third world.
Some small country.
No. They mustn't be able to say that. That's what you're saying. I love that.
Correct. And that is one of our main driving forces. And coming out of those two initiatives, one of our biggest projects coming out, we believe that we need to create a realm for the young people to actually display what they are learning, right? So teaching them the folk and teaching them the dance is one part, but where would they be able to use it? So we are hoping that with next year for Heritage Festival, we could be able to include some of these young men in space. Side have so much eager and willing young men, put them on stages, because when you do that, the attendance for the shows will go up. The morale and everything with the students, they will feel better about themselves knowing that they would have contributed to part of history. So I would like to at least try to create a competition for them. I know Compre Best Dance School was one. I want to create a way that they could compete, that they could challenge themselves, that they could engage in friendly combat. You know, I know
the operative word, the adjective, friendly combat, right? So friendly, breaking the bones, right?
I'm just playing with it, but part of dancing is competing. You need to push yourself, and Tobago needs more dance competitions with more allowing prizes. So if we do get you with sponsorships, I'm hoping that the divisions, whether it's community development, tourism, education, could provide some kind of sponsorship. I will be going to drop off a proposal before the 26th of November. So you all be a lookout for that. If that does happen, we are hoping to pull in these kids with very alluring prizes.
Yes.
Not no $500, not no $1,000. I can provide that, and I'm willing to provide that. But we need help. I can't do this alone. Empress can't do this alone. And this will benefit Tobago in so much ways, getting these young people behind something this positive.
Vennorick, I just want to put out there on your behalf, on behalf of Empress, please, if you're looking at this program and you are thinking that, you want to be able to help and give back to your community anyway, Empress is putting out a request for funding, sponsorship, support, and they are requesting intergenerational input and talent, right? These are the youth of Tobago, and the Empress is saying, listen, we don't want to be us alone. We want intergenerational. We want the older persons who know more about this thing than we do to come help and, put in their 2 cents. So when you hear about, the young people, they don't want us there. Vennorick is saying, no, not us.
We need you all.
Come through.
Yes, we need you all. The generation from before that would have given up dancing because according to the twang, me need no good again. Me need gone through. According to that,
they have all the sapping.
Yeah, they're sapping in you with hot water. When the morning come. Right?
Yeah, so, taking a seabath to make sure. Giving it that,
we need you because if we don't step forward, if we don't do something, the years of tradition that was being upheld,
they'll be lost.
It'll be lost. Our forefathers would have.
Listen, guys, Vennorick doesn't want that. Empress doesn't want that. Give them your number before we go to break. Thank you for being with us today. Give them your number.
Once again, 3912916 or look M-PROS on any social media, inbox us. We are willing and waiting for your response.
Yeah, I know some of the older persons, the social media, they're like, what? Insta who? Call the number, right? No excuse. Call the number and get on to him. So we're heading into a break right now. I want to thank you for tuning in with us, sticking with us, and thank you, Vennorick, for coming to talk to us about this education program. And we wish you all the best with your dance movement, because men need to move too, right?
Yes.
And we're heading into that trivia question, the Tobago trivia question. 1961 to 1964, the Scarborough Secondary School was called by what name? 1961 to 1964, the Scarborough Secondary School was called by what name? And if you type it into the Googler and it does not give you a response, go and ask a friend, right? Go and ask a neighbor, call an old girl and an old boy and ask them. They will know, right? I want an answer today. Okay, guys, so we're going on a break. See you in a few minutes.